Hello. How's it going? It's Friday morning, so let's do a bit of coding. Gonna start building our tug of war. See how quick we can get the basic version out, and then iterate on that a little bit. I'm probably gonna run to about 20 minutes, give or take. So let's get going. War. Right, let's install our packages. SP Kino progress bar. Still at 0.11, so we're gonna use the version from GitHub here, which is github.com/Kino progress bar, and branch is gonna be main. Get that installed and connect that box J to get down to the bottom. Kino.startChild, call it tug of war, def module, tug of war, and we're going to use a gen server. I'm going to define our start link function. I don't care about the argument that gets passed to it. We're going to do gen server of start link, and it's going to be this module. And we don't care about the arguments. And we're going to define our init function. Again, we don't care about the arg. Do tuple atom OK self tuple atom continue atom setup def handle continue. We don't care what continue it is, and we don't care about the PID for now. And we're going to define a state, which is going to be a map. We're going to have a bar key, which is going to be Kino progress bar dot new. I'm going to set the value here, which is going to be 50, and the max is going to be 100. I'm going to set the style, and that's going to be width 100% and height 100%. And now we're going to define a list, which is going to be atom decrement state.bar atom increment. Pipe that into enum.map. And we're going to do a function that takes an operation when is atom op. And then we're going to do kino.control every time. Control.button, call it pull. And we're going to pipe that into tap. And we're going to use here and kino.listen. Listen to that button, and we are going to do a function that takes, actually we don't care what it takes, it just what it does is it applies the module is going to be Kino progress bar. The function is going to be our op, and the argument is going to be our state.bar. So this is going to automatically apply increment or decrement to the bar with the link button. And the other thing we need is the standard identity function for the bar. And now what we're going to do is we're going to pipe that into kino.layout.grid, give it columns, and we're going to have 3 columns. One's going to be a ratio of 1 to 10 to 1. I'm going to pipe that into kino.render. And then we're going to return a tuple atom no reply, comma state. How are we looking? Okay, there we go. Right. So that wasn't too bad. I think about 4 minutes. And we've got our initial kind of functionality. Now, it'll be pretty cool to start adding a little bit more flair to this. So let's see if we can, let's launch it first so that anybody on the stream can check it out. And we're going to remove the plot and the password. We're going to call it Tug of War and only render rich outputs. Let's launch it and check it out here. There's a bar there. I'm going to share the link in the chat. Thank you, Kian. Thanks for joining. All right, and now let's carry on. Let's see if we can add a little bit of functionality to show the number of connected users. We can use the library I published last week for that. So let's search for a package, and we'll call it Kino user presence. There we go. Cool. And if we install that, we are going to want to add to our state a counter of connected users, and we will start it at 0. We are also going to want to configure down here, for example, we will use Kino user presence dot listen, and it needs 2 callbacks. On join, we're going to do a function that, what does on join do? Let's have a look. Receives the user's origin as an argument. Okay, so we don't actually care about the argument, so we can just do a function here that doesn't care about the argument. And what it will do is it will send, this is where this PID comes in handy, so we're going to make that usable, and we will send to ourselves, we will send a user connected, and similarly we can copy that down, and when they disconnect we say user disconnected. Right, remove that, and now we need to write the handler for that. So def handle info user connected and state will return no reply. Nope. No reply, comma state. And what we will do is we will update that state to, actually do we want to update it here? No, I want to update it further up. So state is what's it gonna be? We're gonna have our state, and we're gonna update the, what did we call it? Connected users. Actually, it'd be easier to use an update function here. So we can do state pipeline to map update, and it'll be connected users, and we will give it a new function that takes the current number of users and adds 1. And basically we can duplicate that down, user disconnected, and we are going to reduce the counter. The only other thing now is we need to actually display that. So what we can do is let's put a little Kino frame, Kino.frame.new. We're gonna need to save the state of that frame somewhere, so let's actually put it here. So cut it out of there and say counter, and just call it frame for now. Right, and we're going to do state.frame. No, need to do Kino.frame render, and we're going to render the frame's going to be state.frame. This is what we needed to do, right? State.frame, pipe it into, what does render return? It returns OK, so it needs to be tapped into that. And the first argument is the frame. The second argument is going to be Kino dot, let's make it a markdown cell, and it's going to be a string, and use like a few of those, and then say state dot connected users online. Right, and then we need to pipe that into Kino.render. Why does it want an end? So that one matches with that one. That one, I think we need one more. There we go. Right, so that will render the frame. We probably want to extract this into a function. So render user count. We'll do state frame, and then we'll do the render user count frame. Do pipe it there. Oh, actually, I don't. We don't need to re-render actually here because we're already doing that. So that's a bit annoying. But anyway, let's just get working and we can tidy up. We can do, you know. Okay. Okay, let's take state of frame, and just get the whole state. Okay, 0 online. Okay, and we then need to just call render user count of state. So this function, we need to call it inside here and inside here. That should definitely increase, but it's not. Why? So this one should let's just make sure this gets called. No, it doesn't. Why not? Right, let's properly installed. It's not getting called at all by Kino user presence.listen. Let's just try that in its own box and see how we get on. Right, we don't need that. Can do that. And left. Right, so that library is working. If I open a bunch of tabs, they're going to say, yeah, they all joined. Cool. So, what is going on? Copy the code as it is back into here. That should already say 1, but it doesn't. Why doesn't it? Do I have anything in the console? No. We can do it a different way. It's just kind of weird. It should be working like this. What we can do is we can add a function, add a cost for these. So we can do def user joined, and we'll do genserver.cost. Cost, and we'll cost at module, and the request will be user connected, and we can do the same for user left, user disconnected, I think we called it. Now, in order for this to work, we need to add a parameter here to say name is module, so that the gen server can call to itself, and these become handle costs instead of handle info. But I think the API is basically the same. And then what we can do is we can basically grab that from there, put it outside here, and we'll use, instead of these, we'll use and gen server dot, not gen server, it's tug of war dot, it's not there, but it will be user joined. And next one will be the same thing, but user left. Let's see how that works. Where are we? Oh, where that come up? Okay, it needs one argument. Okay, that's fine. We can ignore it because we don't do anything with it for now. Ignore that, and we'll add one here. Okay, well, that's working at least. So if I open a few more tabs of this, there we go, 5 online. Cool. And as they shut, people drop out. Right. Now, what would be very nice is if we could tweak the API of this library so that we just have one update function. It would be nice to receive a join event, have a number of online users in total there, but also figure out who's on the left side, who's on the right side, and have some nice crew list or something. But I think we're approaching our stated 20-minute kind of mark. So I'll leave it here for this morning. And we will have another go at that next week. And maybe I can figure out why this isn't working inside of a Gen server. That should be fun.